This is Mystery Mansion. It's a fun adventure treasure hunt that you can't miss. It was published by Milton Bradley in 1984, and it is an absolute treat to have out on game night. So let's hop right into this review, starting with the stunning game art. I absolutely adore this spooky mansion on the front of the box. There's even a little silhouette of somebody searching around inside. Of course, we have the familiar Milton Bradley white stripe that gives you the intended age and a brief summary of what the gameplay is like. Now, when we flip it over, we have some close-ups of the modular game board pieces. This is obviously not played on a traditional game board. Players will actually build out the Mystery Mansion as they explore, so the game never plays the same way twice. This is a lift-off top box, and though it looks briefly like it has an organizer, upon closer inspection, this is just a perforated display for the front stoop that gets punched out by players, as well as the 7 treasure tokens. Or should I say, there are 2 treasure tokens and 5 spiderweb tokens that will be placed in the 7 treasure chests at random as part of the dynamic of the treasure hunt. So that's really all the function of this little cardboard insert. However, I'm glad that the original owner kept it just for documenting when we're doing this video. However, that being said, the game box does have room to store all of these 3D rooms for the mansion and all the parts. However, I do recommend, if you get a copy of this, get some bags so you can organize the small parts a little bit better. Otherwise, they float around quite easily in this open box. Now, let's hop into the game itself. As you can see, there's no real board. This is actually a modular game. You're going to get 24 rooms, and for those of you counting, yes, I'm missing the solarium. Sorry. You're going to get 24 rooms. You're going to get a front stoop. Players will start at the foyer, and as they explore the mansion, they will add rooms. So what they'll do is each player on each turn has 3 actions. To move is an action. Also, to try a door is an action. You'll have this little 6-sided die that has open and locked sides. You'll roll that and determine if a door is locked or open. If it's open, you get to add a room and walk on through. Players will have these rooms arranged face down and shuffled near the play space, and they will draw a room at random. And if it's on a different level than they're on, they will add a little staircase piece to denote which area you can go up and down a floor. Now, you can have 1 staircase per room, but the staircase can move as needed when players are adding rooms. Also, sometimes when they search a room, they will find secret passages. These little trapdoor pieces can be placed throughout the mansion to allow players to jump from one room to another, similar to games like Clue. And then, of course, they can also find the treasure chests that have a random chance of treasure. Now, another unique feature of these chests is they are numbered on the bottom, and these numbers will correspond with key cards that players can find. At the outset of the game, players will be dealt 5 search cards, and each time they play one, they will draw a fresh one. The search cards will have different actions they can take, or they will have pictures of items that they can search as they explore the mansion. Each room has a little portrait of a room, kind of with the top-down view, that includes all the accoutrements: tables, chairs, fireplaces, and bookcases. Players will have these cards that will have matching pictures like sofas, bookcases, crates, and they can play that search card and declare, I want to search, say, the sofa in this room or a crate in this room. When they play that, they will draw a clue card, and that clue card will either tell them if they found something, or sometimes it'll have one of these spider webs that just means nothing. However, if they get lucky, they might find a key, and that key will have a number on it. And as they're exploring the mansion, if they happen to find a chest that has a number that corresponds to their key, they can pick up that chest and run to the entrance to try to escape with it. Now, players can't open the chest until they get out onto the Mystery Mansion pad outside of the mansion, and other players can try to steal the chest from them as they make their escape. However, it's not until you actually open the treasure chest that you find out whether or not you have a treasure or an empty chest. So there's a little bit of risk reward as to whether or not you want to chase another player or continue to pursue treasure of your own. I found this to be a lot of fun. Interestingly enough, I had played a game called Betrayal at House on the Hill, where you build out a mansion in a similar fashion, and had no idea that it was borrowed from this game. But it is a really fun feature, and I actually appreciate that Mystery Mansion has 3D pieces, it adds to it. Even though they don't always fit together the best, they can be a little wonky, they still fit together well enough that the game works just fine without any issue. I was worried that they wouldn't be stable enough to have game pieces on, but realistically, these game pieces are weighted just right and they're sturdy so they don't tip over or fall over. Another important thing to note is if you take a treasure chest and you're trying to escape with it, you can't take it through a secret passageway, so you're always forced to take the long way. And players can only steal the treasure if they happen to have a search or clue card that gives them the ability to steal a treasure from you. So it's kind of player versus player, but not really. You don't always have to aggressively go after another player. In fact, the times that I played, I never had a corresponding key to the chest they were escaping with, so actually going to steal the treasure from them would have done me no good. But I can definitely see where it's fun to have that angle where there is the possibility that you have a key that can open that chest too. Each chest has 2 numbers, so there's always 2 possible keys that can open the chest. So they make sure to balance it out that there's just enough opportunity for betrayal, and I find that really tickled me. And when we look at the rules, this is a rule book that Rand McNally would be proud of. But it's quite thorough. It's made of nice thick bond paper. It's full color print, so it's unsealed. I don't really like it when it folds with corners like this, but this one has stood the test of time. It's lasted 40 years. So the paper choice that they made is obviously of high quality because it's held up. So that being said, all one sheet, it's not going to fall apart too terribly easy. Usually those are pretty well-loved rule books that I see that actually fall apart when they're all one sheet. Oftentimes I see booklets fall apart first, unless they're fabric stitched, which is really nice. Jumanji Stampede did that. Okay, so overall, I do know that they did make a Mystery Mansion in the 90s, an electronic one. I haven't tracked that down yet to do a direct comparison. I would love to. But as a game, this tickled me so much. This was a lot of fun. I actually recently received this as a gift from the holidays, so everybody thank Mrs. Old Crappy Couch for tracking down a copy. We saw a video about this, and we're both just absolutely excited about it, and I can't believe that she found a copy, so that was a lot of fun. The art on the game pieces is a little bit small. So the one critique that I have that would be against anything in this game is that you don't want to play it in a dimly lit room, and sometimes you really, like when we were playing on the kitchen table, we still had to stop and squint because some of the detail is so fine on these that we were really just going, okay, that's a fireplace or that's a bookcase or something like that. So I don't feel like the game pieces necessarily need to be larger, but I'm not gonna lie, part of the problem was their size because I couldn't make out everything in the room that I was always able to search. And you can search the strangest things too. You can search statues and rugs. I mean, I don't know, I guess statues can have secret switches like Batman did in the Adam West version there, but still, it's kind of weird to me to search a marble statue to see if I can find a clue for a treasure. But overall, it definitely had the awesome treasure hunt mood down. I love the cover art. I love how it translates very well to the art in the rooms. They have a warmth to them that I really like. That's something that I liked about Clue as well, is the way the rooms were designed in this and the way the rooms that were designed in Clue. They both had a way that the light was sort of emanating off from the center as such that the art had a lovely glow to it. And that's a touch that I really liked. 13 Dead End Drive did that as well. All Mansion games. So Mansion games have a little something. I don't know. Maybe it's that cozy feel of being in a nice house. But this is so much worth your time if you can find a copy of Mystery Mansion from 1984. I can't wait to do a comparison to the 90s edition. I actually heard the electronic one doesn't do a great job of adding a whole lot to it, but I'd still like to see what the differences are. So have you played the 1984 Mystery Mansion? Have you played the one from the 90s? Do you have any input? What did you think about it? Comment below and let me know. And if you enjoy having these reviews done by a live human who loves doing them for you, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps my channel greatly. I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks for joining.